This time, Mr. Muller was alone. His face bore traces of sadness and despair. When he entered the office, it was as if the shadow of grief entered with him. Dr. Meyer sensed something was wrong the moment she saw the old man approaching her. "Excuse me, doctor," Mr. Muller began hesitantly. "All I could do was find the money to put the dog down." His voice was broken, and he lowered his gaze to the floor. Dr. Meyer could see the desperation in his eyes and knew this was no ordinary situation. "Please sit down, Mr. Muller," she said kindly, guiding him to a chair. The old man explained that, ever since he lost his wife 2 years ago, Naidu was all he had left. The dog was his only companion, his comfort on lonely nights. When Naidu suddenly fell ill, it felt as though the ground had been pulled out from under him. Dr. Meyer felt a wave of empathy wash over her. She remembered the quiet old man who had come in 3 days ago with his beloved dog. The thought of Naidu being euthanized had deeply touched her at the time. "Come on, let's check on Naidu," she suggested, leading Mr. Muller to the examination table. The dog lay there, weak and exhausted. But when he heard Mr. Muller's voice, he lifted his head slightly and wagged his tail. The old man knelt beside the table, gently stroking his friend's fur. "I know I don't have enough money for treatment," he said softly, "but I couldn't just give up on him." Dr. Meyer looked at the old man, and in that moment, a deep determination rose within her. This was more than just her job. It was about compassion and the bond between humans and animals. "Mr. Muller," she began gently, "I will treat Naidu free of charge. Money should not decide whether a life is saved or not." A lump rose in her throat as she spoke those words. She thought back to the moment 3 days ago when Mr. Muller had placed his small pile of change on the counter before leaving with his sick dog. She couldn't accept such injustice.